Jessica, how lovely to see you.
I wanted to thank you.
Ah, you saw the sign.
You didn't have to do that. Our agreement stipulates Darby Pearson, not Pearson Darby.
Our agreement also stipulates a 51-49 percentage structure.
And this is your way of showing me that you think of it as 50-50?
Merely a gesture.
Ah, heck of a gesture. How would you propose to a woman?
A woman? I think we both know that
Yes, we do. Anyway, it is shaping up to be a lovely day.
Well, I wish I could say the same. I assume you know about the latest goings-on with Hessington Oil.
I wouldn't be much of a partner if I didn't.
Well, now they have decided to take on Ava Hessington personally.
Who is they?
The U.S. government. I've decided to let Harvey handle it.
Why?
Why not?
It's not a good time. He's still digesting the merger.
Meaning?
He's acting out.
Well, he may be acting out, but I understand he's just got his client triple the money.
By taking a huge risk, he didn't have to.
This case, he may have to.
So that's why, Harvey.
And this case is more important to me than just money.
And why is that?
Because it is.
What if I said no?
I'm afraid that's not an option.
So I guess that sign really doesn't mean 50-50 after all.
Well, I did say it was merely a gesture.
Miss Hessington, first of all, I want you to familiarize yourself with this man. U.S. Attorney Richard Jensen. He's one of the best there is, and he's who we'll be going up against.
Well, that's all well and good, Mr. Specter, but I have one question. Why should I hire you?
Because you trust Edward Darby.
I'm afraid that only gets you in the room. This civil servant seems to have a personal vendetta against me, and I don't even know why.
Well, I do. He needs a head on a platter.
Why mine?
You've been skirting environmental laws for a decade. He's got a chance to nail you, and he's gonna take it.
This isn't an environmental allegation.
No, it's a bribery charge. It's got teeth. It's coming your way.
Don't sugarcoat it, Mr. Specter. Give it to me straight.
Okay, I will. Because when he digs a little deeper, he's gonna find evidence of the spill your company covered up in 2008, the whistleblower you bought off in 2010, and the environmental impact study you doctored in 2006. So it's not gonna be hard to convince a jury that you're guilty of bribing a foreign government to get your pipeline.
And what are you going to do to stop him? Bury evidence? Contact witnesses? Or sleep with your rival pitcher's girlfriend the night before the big game?
The heart wants what the heart wants. I got it. I looked into you, you looked into me. I actually prefer it that way.
And why is that?
Because you know what I'll do to win. Saves me the trouble of explaining it to you.
And I won't have to explain to you what I did to win that pipeline.
You bribe them.
Guilty as charged. And I don't care what Richard Jensen says. Every company with a pipeline over there did the same thing.
Is that your defense?
It's the truth. It'd be nice if we only found oil under Texas ranchers or North Sea fishermen. But in the real world, we find it in nasty places under nasty people. And any executive worth a damn does what's needed or goes out of business.
Good. We're done.
Excuse me?
I just needed to know what I was dealing with before I make my next move.
And what is that?
I'll let you know.
I haven't officially hired you yet.
Yes, you have.
Harvey, you're looking determined.
I am.
What can I do for you?
Look, I know we had an arrangement, but I came here to change it.
Change it? But you might not even win. I've just heard about this new special prosecutor.
Relax. The case was always going to be hard, just got a little harder.
Because you made it that way.
That's my problem.
And now you're using that increased difficulty to renegotiate our deal.
That's your problem. We both know how important Ava is to you.
What do you want?
I don't want to run from a fight.
Meaning?
I win, you don't fire me. You back me for managing partner.
You want to take down Jessica?
Yes, I do.
If I'm on a jury, I'm looking at a bribe, plain as day.
Because that's exactly what it is.
I don't care what it looks like. There's no audio. It's our story versus theirs.
It's a shady deal in a case full of cash. Their story's going to be more compelling.
Cameron's not going to risk trial without more.
Well, do you think he has audio?
What would it say?
It would have this gentleman, Colonel Mariga, asking if we had the money, and my number two, Nick Howell, showing it to him. Then he would thank us for paying a pollution remediation fee.
Well, that sounds environmentally sound.
Except we'd already remediated everything that needed to be remediated.
Which is how you knew it was a bribe.
Yes.
The question is, did you ever use that word in that room?
I may be brazen, Mr. Specter, but I am not a fool.
And the audio won't help them anyway.
The Colonel.
No, they're still in power. He's not getting indicted.
What?
Cameron's got your protege.
No. I've been grooming Nick for 10 years. I've taught him everything he knows.
Like how to bribe a foreign government?
That is not the same. He would never turn on me.
You'd be surprised what people you trust would do when someone puts them in a position where they think they don't have a choice.
Harvey's right. Once someone puts another person down the path of bending the law, people tend to turn on each other.
You don't know him.
When's the last time you spoke to him?
A few days ago.
Call him. He won't take your call.
You're wrong. He always takes my calls.
Hi, it's Nick. Leave a message.
Let me tell you what that message really said. Hi, Ava. It's Nick. I'm not here right now because I'm cutting a deal to sell you out.
That disloyal piece of filth.
Believe me, I know how you feel.
Do you? Because I've heard you prefer to work alone. Well, I don't. I may have been above him when we started, but for the last 2 years, we worked together side by side. I'm not a sentimental person, but it meant something to me, and I thought it meant something to him.
He deserves to be shot.
He does. But I suggest we promote him instead.
You want to give him a new title to keep him from testifying?
I believe it'll require a substantial raise as well.
You know that's not what I meant. You're suggesting bribing a man to get you out of your bribery charge.
In for a penny, in for a pound. Mother always said.
This is what Cameron wanted. He didn't give us that video so we wouldn't find Nick. He gave us Nick so you'd try to bribe him.
Well, how can you know that?
Because Cameron knows people are who they are. You bribe once, you'll bribe again.
Well, then what are you suggesting I do? Because I'm going to make a run at him.
No, I'm gonna make a run at him. It's a good deal, Ava. Don't second guess yourself.
I'm not in the habit of second-guessing myself. Now, I just realized when I go back to London, my right hand is going to be gone.
Your right hand sold you out.
You made it seem like he did it for his own personal gain. But he did it for his own survival.
He still did it.
But that doesn't mean I'm not going to miss him. Goodbye, Harvey.
Bye, Ava. So you've decided not to go back to London?
Well, we have some unfinished business to discuss, and I thought it best to do it in person.
The takeover attempt.
Tony Giannopoulos.
Well, I've assigned it to another attorney, but before you express any concern, he's excellent.
Well, not only do I not have concerns, I'm glad you've handed it off.
And why is that?
Because that way I know you'll trust the man you're overseeing when you come and work for me.
I have to say I'm flattered.
I don't want you to be flattered. I want you to say yes.
As much success as I've had with that line myself, I'm afraid I'm not an oil man.
The oil business is about oil as much as you being a lawyer is about the law. Every day is a knife fight in a prison yard, and something tells me you like a good knife fight.
No rules in a knife fight.
Harvey, I've just lost my number two. I can't think of anyone better to replace him.
Ava,
I'm a woman who gets what I want, and I am willing to pay for it.
don't get me wrong. I'm happy to whore myself out. I just prefer to have more than one client.
Harvey, what a coincidence.
Cameron, I'm surprised you can afford this place now that you're unemployed again.
Well, my temporary gig isn't over just yet.
You may think you have them fooled, Cameron, but they'll figure you out eventually.
You didn't.
What are you talking about?
Ava Hessington, you're under arrest.
What?
On what charge?
Conspiracy to commit murder.
Did you know about these murders?
I knew there was a demonstration, it turned ugly, and that people died.
Did you know those people were the leaders of the demonstration?
No.
Did you know the military was responsible?
All I know about these deaths is that they happened.
On your land?
We own thousands of acres. It's a volatile country. People kill each other on a regular basis.
So you just chalk it up to coincidence that the 6 leaders of this demonstration against your company's policies on your company's private property were murdered?
It was reported as a combat incident, not a murder.
You just said all you know about these deaths is that they happened. Now you know it was a combat incident. Which one is it?
Harvey, what the hell is this? And who the hell does he think he is?
Mike's just doing his job.
Well, Mike, every death in that country is reported as a combat incident. And for your information, there were thousands of people opposed to our pipeline.
That's all we need right now.
Would you please excuse us? How exactly did you manage to get your head so far up your own ass? You told me to take this deal. I did, and now here I am.
I didn't know about these murders.
What you don't seem to believe is neither did I.
We were doing our job. Cameron Dennis will come at you with worse.
Do you think I did this?
That's irrelevant. I just want to make sure I know all the evidence against you.
I have no idea what the evidence is because I had nothing to do with it. And you say it's irrelevant, but it's not irrelevant to me. Do you think I did this?
Do you want a lawyer who thinks you're innocent and loses? Or a lawyer who doesn't want to know and wins?
You know the answer to that.
Then don't ask me that question again, because after I win and you're free, what I think won't matter.
So once this is all taken care of, I wire the money.
And Cameron's witnesses never take the stand.
Harvey told me this maneuver was your idea.
I'm not one to take credit, but yes, it was.
He trusts you, doesn't he?
I like to think so.
So you know how he thinks.
What I know about how Harvey thinks is that you can never be sure what Harvey's gonna think.
What do you think he thinks?
I think that he's not really interested in whether you did it or not. He's interested in what the evidence is and what we can make it say.
I want to know.
Then you should ask him.
I'm asking you.
I have no idea whether Harvey thinks you had those people murdered or not. But even if I did, I would never say anything because he wouldn't want me to.
He's picked a good number 2.
I like to think so.
What do you think?
I think it's my job to represent you to the best of my ability. To say anything else would be as big a betrayal to Harvey as discussing what he thinks.
She's got to go until this trial is over.
I'm afraid I don't see it that way.
Well, you're wrong.
And you're overstepping.
Listen to me. She stands to lose control of this company permanently if we don't do something.
Then do something.
I'm trying. But you're cutting off my legs because of a bond you had with her father.
No, because I value relationships over money.
Well, I value the terms of our merger. And Hessington Oil was one of your biggest selling points.
And Harvey Specter, one of yours.
I'm not going to stand for losing this takeover.
Then don't. But Ava isn't going anywhere. One more thing. Instead of spending firm money to fly to another country to question my judgment, feel free to call first. I'll be happy to give you the same answer over the phone.
Is that really necessary?
It'll be in the deposition.
I don't care about the deposition.
Harvey.
You want to know how you come across? You have to see how you come across. Now answer my question. Did you bribe a foreign government? Why are you hesitating, Miss Hessington? Something to hide?
Look, I think what Harvey's trying to say
You hesitate, they won't trust you.
your bribery isn't in question. Cameron is going to enter that plea into evidence. You have to own it and move on.
And I suggest you do it more believably, because when you're up there, staring down the barrel of 12 executioners, there's no changing your mind.
Do you think I don't know you're trying to rattle me?
Rattle you? I'm just giving you the facts. Cameron's gonna rattle you. And it's gonna work. Because you and I both know you did this.
How dare you?
How dare I what? This is your idea.
Then ask me a goddamn question.
You bribed that government. What's to stop anyone with a pulse from believing you knew that money was payment for killing those people?
Because life is more important to me than money.
Then why the hell did you pay that bribe in the first place?
Because that's how it works over there.
Murder is also how it works over there.
You did it. You know it, and you're not convincing anyone.
Very good. Finally, we get to it. If you check your records, you'd know the reason we won that bid is we were the only company who took it upon ourselves to go to the people.
Because you needed to see what your obstacle was.
My obstacle? We paid $100 million more than anyone else on the condition that the money be used to relocate any family who lost anything within 50 miles of that pipeline. Job, home, land, livestock, anything. What happened over there sickens me. I lose sleep over it every night. And as soon as I am out of this nightmare, I am going to shut down the entire project. The pipeline, the oil fields, all of it. So I've just about had enough of you two wondering whether I'm guilty of these murders or not. Is that a good enough trial run for you?
Holy shit.
She didn't do it.
What the hell did you do?
What are you talking about?
I just got voted out of my own company.
Wait, the vote on the takeover isn't supposed to be till this afternoon.
Well, they had a different one before that, and I'm out. And what I want to know is, did you know?
Ava, I didn't go behind your back.
Well, you may not have gone behind my back, but this never would have happened if you'd have let me speak publicly in the first place.
Look, Ava, my believing in your innocence wouldn't change my mind about you talking to a reporter.
Then why were you going to let me speak today?
Because an interview isn't the same thing as a closed-door meeting within your own company.
Well, they had a closed-door meeting, and the only person who benefited from that was you.
How's that?
I may be out, but you're not. Pearson Darby has been conveniently retained as Hessington Oil's legal counsel.
What you did amounts to nothing short of insubordination.
Did you fly all the way from another country to tell me that? You could have just called.
I gave you a very clear directive, and you defied me.
Do you want to get into it?
I most certainly do.
When I agreed to merge with you, I knew it was 51-49, but I didn't think you would lord your 2% over me like a hammer.
And when I agreed to acquire you, I didn't think I'd have to.
Are you saying you regret this merger?
I'm saying perhaps I should have paid more attention to the red flags, such as covering up the embezzlement of a former partner.
Something you were more than willing to use to make the deal.
You went behind my back.
And you stuck me with this case and then risked losing me a huge amount of money.
I gave Harvey this case after already handing you a huge amount of money.
I am in charge on this side of the ocean.
Because I allow it to be that way.
And there it is again. 51-49.
Yeah, until now, I believed that Harvey was the wild horse that couldn't be tamed, but perhaps it is you.
I think maybe Harvey was right. It is personal. But I didn't make it that way. You did, when you allowed your feelings for Ava to cloud your judgment. And as you pointed out, I had a partner once who made decisions based on his personal shit, and I will not allow that to happen again. And 51-49 or not, I just took $14 million and put it on my side of the ledger. So do me a favor, Edward, and turn off the lights on your way out.
I need your help with Giannapolis.
Relax. If he's making another run at Hessington Oil, that's not going to happen.
Well, how can you know that?
Because you just restructured, and he can't force another takeover vote for at least 6 months.
Then why is he driving my stock into the ground?
What?
He's been dumping it all day.
I'll take care of it.
What did you do?
We picked a fight with him.
We've just finished a fight with him that ended with me losing control of my company, so why in God's name would you pick another?
To get you out of these murder charges once and for all. And after I do, we'll figure out a way to get you back in charge.
Well, you see that you do. Because I would rather rot in a cell than let that man take over my company. I am not selling my shares to that man.
I don't know you that well, Ava, and I won't pretend that I do. But we do have something in common.
What is that?
I merged with Edward Darby to save my firm from being hijacked by my piece of shit ex-partner.
And what exactly does that give us in common?
I know what it's like to prefer rotting in the ground than letting my enemy take what's mine.
I said rotting in a cell.
I wasn't up on murder charges.
And you'd rather have died?
I was speaking metaphorically, as I'm sure you were.
Was I?
You won't be able to run your company from a cell. My point is, I didn't want to merge, but I did what I had to do to keep my company mine.
And how is that working out for you?
It has its ups and downs. But I wouldn't be standing here in front of you if I hadn't done it.
Not exactly a ringing endorsement.
Ava, do this. Get free of your murder charges. Nobody is saying we can't try to get you out of this deal later.
Is he telling the truth?
Yes. We had a conversation on the phone, but not about murder.
You didn't think we needed to know?
I didn't remember.
That lie won't play well in court.
I told you about the meeting. I didn't think to tell you about the call where we agreed to meet. That's all it was.
When, where, how much money?
Not even that. That was settled beforehand. It was a formality Nick arranged.
Nick Howell, your former protege.
He dealt with these people. He knew what's expected. It was a social nicety so insignificant, I didn't remember until you brought it up.
They brought it up, and now they're gonna point out that you didn't.
I understand it looks bad. But Edward said that this man is a murderer, and there's no need for me to be concerned.
Edward Darby says a lot of things you want to believe, but shouldn't.
You don't believe me?
Hiding a conversation and then coming clean about it later tends to get in the way of trust.
Jessica.
It makes you disingenuous. It makes you look guilty.
I'm not.
Do you find that people usually kill your enemies for you without your asking?
Jessica?
Ava, you'll have to excuse us. We have to come up with another plan because the one we had just went to shit.
Jessica, I've been expecting your call.
You weren't expecting this call. It was pointed out to me that I had misplaced some of my anger. So I've decided to place some of it on you.
Then this is the call I was expecting. You've heard about Stephen.
I heard about you and your deal with Harvey.
I was wondering when you'd find out.
Save it. I thought when I got rid of Daniel Hardman, I was done with partners I couldn't trust.
I assume you're referring to Harvey because I'm not the one who proposed that deal.
Him asking isn't the same as you accepting.
No, it isn't. But he was going to quit because of you, and that deal made him stay. And as you said yourself, he is essential to the firm.
Not more essential than me. And as for your deal with Harvey, it doesn't exist because he doesn't want it anymore.
Which was my hope from the beginning.
You are a saint, aren't you?
I'm not sure I fully understand the purpose of this call.
I want Stephen Huntley gone. I won't allow him to do any more damage.
When you have a problem, you turn to Harvey. Stephen fills that role for me. But you want him gone, win the case. He'll be on the next flight out.
Edward, Harvey and I are going to win this case. And then you and I are going to have a conversation about the future of this merger.
Ah, now I understand.
What?
By telling you about my part in his deal, he's turned you against the very merger he never wanted in the first place.
Harvey had nothing to do with this.
Hadn't he?
Goodbye, Edward.
You knew this case was heading your way before you ever came after us. That's why you wanted to merge.
Yes, it is, and I regret the situation as much as you do, but what's done is done.
Is that what you told Stephen when you found out he did it?
Found out? How do we know he didn't order it?
Because I am giving you my word.
Why should we trust a man who sent Stephen over here to cover his ass?
I sent Stephen over here because I care about Ava. Which is why I sent him to the EIR in the first place. I had no idea he would do what he did, and I have been trying to fix it ever since.
Then fix it right now.
And how exactly can I do that?
By stating in court, Stephen acted alone without Ava's knowledge.
I can't.
Why not?
Because he never told me.
And you never asked because you never wanted to know.
You piece of shit. You care about Ava so much. How could you do this to her?
I wasn't doing anything to her. I was trying to do something for her.
Remind me never to ask you for any favors.
Well, I'm not asking for a favor, but you are going to agree to do something right now.
And what is that?
I treated you as if you were my own blood.
Ava.
Did you do this to me?
Of course I didn't.
Did you keep this from me? I want to hear you say it.
I didn't know until it was too late. I didn't want to burden you with what had been done to get your pipeline, and there was nothing I could do to undo it.
Burden me? What about protecting me?
Well, that's exactly what I was doing when I assigned Harvey to the case.
And after I was brought up on murder charges, rather than tell me, you sent the very man who committed the crime. Who were you trying not to burden then?
You once asked me if she knew about her father and I. In those days, to be a lawyer and to be out, not possible. Her father was in the oil business. He would have been finished.
What does that have to do?
We used to go away on occasion. In order to do that, Ava joined us and pretended to be my girlfriend. She did that for us. Ava is family to me. I sent Stephen out there to help her. I didn't know what he'd do, and I would give anything to undo it.
What do you want from me, Edward?
I want you to put aside your anger and figure out a way to help.
He's got us, and you know it.
No, he doesn't. She's not going to prison for one day.
She's going for the rest of her life if we don't take this deal.
I am not losing to him.
Your blood feud or whatever it is you have with that man is what put the target on my back in the first place.
Ava, we need to face reality.
She is not taking that deal.
She better, because she can't buy her way out of it. And you can't cover up your way out of it.
I don't care.
Well, what's your idea? Because unless you're going to testify that Stephen did this without Ava's knowledge, you can't help. And as you said, you have no proof. So why don't you get out of the room and let the grown-ups talk?
What if I was to testify to that?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about putting words to a conversation that should have happened but didn't.
You'd say that you confronted Stephen, and he admitted it?
I made this mess. It's up to me to clear it up.
This isn't going to help. You're her old friend coming to her aid at the last second. It's a lie. The jury will see right through it.
Then we need to make Cameron believe it. Harvey, Cameron wants a win. You need to convince him this is a win.
Can you do that?
I guess it's the best shot we have.
You testify, you get 5 years probation.
And he pleads obstruction of justice.
What is this?
What is what?
This says that I forfeit my license to practice law in this country.
Oh, that's just something I added in.
This is unacceptable.
Wait a minute. How could you add that in if we did the paperwork?
And if he can't practice law in the country, he can't be a member of our firm.
We must have agreed to it in advance.
You set this whole thing up.
Jessica set this whole thing up. But what's it matter? You really gonna put this on Ava when you can get off with a slap on the wrist?
I asked you to put aside your anger.
I did. You said Ava was family. The thing about family is they make it easy to put you in a position where you don't have a choice.
Now, you gonna sign the deal, or do I just pick up the trial right where we left off?
You're doing the right thing, Edward. We'll worry about the terms of our dissolution tomorrow. And Edward, we may be getting a divorce, but I fully intend on keeping ownership of the house.